point where we're not, especially from where we're from, right? Leaving an inheritance is biblical. Leaving an inheritance for your children is biblical, right? So we want to get to a point where it's not just about saving, but it's also investing. And when you start to invest, it's also about diversification, right? So for me, the end goal is that I want to sit back one day and retire from this 9 to 5 that has stressed me out for so many years and to take my time. So when we talked about financial freedom, what was financial freedom to me at that time? My financial freedom now has changed because I live a life of financial freedom now anyway. But at a point, what was my dream of my financial freedom? I want to live 9 to 5. I want to be running my business. And I want my business to be sustaining. So what did I do? Because for some strange reason, I was always one of those who said to myself, I want to retire at the age of 50. I want to retire at the age of 50. You know why? Because I used to look at a lot of people in this country when I really came to this country. I always used to feel bad when I see like very elderly women. No, then we were young. I thought 50 was very old until we reached there. So when I used to see older people, right, with a little bit of gray hair as we all have now, I used to say, I beg, I don't want this to be me. You know, especially in the winter when you see them running to catch the bus. And then the bus will now leave them on top. So I made up my mind that I did not want this life for myself. God forbid. I did not want this life. I didn't want to be living a life where I'll be running to work 8 a.m., 9 a.m. No. I really didn't. So I knew that I wanted to retire. Purpose in my heart, with prayers and all, that at the age of 50, I wanted to retire from any kind of work, which is 9 to 5 type of work. But then how do I survive when I do that, right? I needed to put things in place, right? So when I started to learn about real estate, I could make money from real estate. I just said to myself, especially when I got into doing Airbnb. So I have a huge portfolio of Airbnb. At the time, it was 20. I had built it to up to about 20, right? I said to myself, if the Airbnb, they give me, so I first of all like to do your financial health check. How do I need every month to meet all my expenses? And to even add a little bit of flex, whereby we still enjoy a little bit. I want to go on holiday and just easily go on holiday. What do I need, right? Everybody's figure is different. For my own, because I'm reading my open eye. At that time, it was 10K. I wanted to earn 10K every month, right? How do I earn 10K every month? 10K will pay my bills. 10K will sort me out. 10K will give me a comfortable life that I wanted. How do I earn? How do I do this to make 10K? So as I was approaching in my 40s, as I was approaching that time, I knew gradually I started to scale up my Airbnb businesses. So if I'm earning £1,000 from each one, I knew I needed 10. I knew I needed 10 Airbnbs. So before I turned 50, I had more than 10. So I then knew that this was only the Airbnbs. I also have the HMOs as well. But let's just say I use the Airbnb as the target. So sometimes, like Tope had just said, you have to have a projection. If you're somebody who's wanting to create wealth, the wealth you want to create, how do you plan to go about it? What's the vision you have? And how do you plan to get there? So for me, it was, I needed this. How much do I need? 10K. How am I going to get 10K? I need to build this up before then. And guess what? On my 5th year, I turned 50 on the February. And then I retired from work in the October of that same year. Right? Because of the kind of work that I do, I was a manager and all of that. So you needed to give a long 3 months notice. But my first year, I knew that was the end of the journey for me with 9 to 5. Well, what confidence did I have to do that? Because I had built something that I knew was going to sustain me. And then real estate was going to be a business for me. And that's when I started my coaching. Because people have money. How do I go about this thing? People don't know where to start. So how do I do it? Let me open a coaching business. Because people always were asking me, how do I want to start? I have to start for money. How do you do it? How do I want to do it? So yeah, now come, let me show you. That's where a business comes out of the business. What else? I became a speaker, right? Yes, and I'm here today educating every one of you to tell you how I my journey, how I did it. To tell you that it is possible. But what vision do you have? Are you even thinking past tomorrow? Because this UK has a way that just keeps you there. That your little job every day you are going, you think you've arrived. Let us think beyond. Because the society of this particular society where we live in is conditioned to keep you in one place. Do you know that? Do you know that these laws that they are passing to the House of Parliament on a daily basis, especially this Labour government, for example, the laws are made to keep you down. It truly is. They don't want you to get past that ceiling. That's why you find a lot of Brits are going to other countries. I mean, the Renters' Right Act that came out on the 1st of May. You know, just check out the fine. If you do not send a letter to your tenants, they will fine you £7,000. Does that make sense? How do you find somebody fine £7,000 because they did not send a letter? Thank you. It is deliberately intending to frustrate you and frustrate landlords out of the market as well. You know why? Because the banks are buying the properties you're giving up. BlackRock, go and check them out. The Lloyds Bank is one of the biggest institutions that buys real estate in the UK. So everything that is done in this society is conditioning you. Conditioning you that ceiling, you must never get past it. They want to keep you under so that they control your wealth. Maybe now they'll just tell you to enter a code. When you enter the code, they get you to your bank account. Have anybody experienced that? If you are attempting to do anything now, they give you give that permission, they get you to your bank account. They check your bank account. You know that without you knowing. So if you are paying too much tax, you get a letter from HRC and that they need to check this, they need to check that. The condition of this country is to keep you down. You're not supposed to get past that ceiling. So you must actively fight to say, I will not remain like this. Because for goodness sake, we don't know where we're coming from. Why be conditioned in a society that you know is intended to keep you down? So we're not saying it's not possible. Real estate in this country still works, but you have to be smart about it, right? You have to be smart about it. You have to know what you're doing, because you also have to know how to navigate them, because they want to collect more money than you. So you also have to know ways that you must navigate around this system, and every millionaire or billionaire knows how to do it. Samuel Lewis is one of my coaches. He will say it's only £12,000 in his salary. Says it openly. So also House of Commons, they said they were going to get him down because he was teaching people how to avoid tax. But there was nothing he was doing that was illegal. He just knew how to manipulate the system, and that's what every millionaire or billionaire know how to do. They pay the littlest tax. It is these small people we're struggling here. We are the ones that get the biggest taxes from. Yeah. But the millionaires and billionaires, they pay little or nothing because they understand how they maneuver the system. Not illegally. They do it legally because they know how to do it. So what am I saying in essence? You have to know what you do. So when I knew that UK was going to be, obviously, it was getting harder because I started this 20-something years ago. So for me, I had maxed out on the UK. So I sort of liquidated a few of my properties here, gave up some, got into sort of diversifying and putting everything together to make it a little bit more tidy. And then I started to take real estate can be done in any part of the world and anywhere in the world. So we started to get into cross-border real estate, right? The same principles apply, right? But you see, at the end of the day, like I always say, real estate these days has gone beyond brick and mortar. It's not about just owning a property. When you start to talk about real estate or property, look beyond the building. What opportunities can real estate do for me? It's a level to which I have got to. It's beyond just the building. It's beyond legacy. It's beyond ownership. for me, real estate offers me more. And so what I started to do, like I talked about, now I do a lot of Dubai properties. And I know questions will come like, hey, Dubai, hey, you can address that. Dubai is very okay. And the market is still up and coming. Pretty much how UK was a few years ago. And we're not saying UK. What I would say is UK investment and property is better if you're thinking of UK, do the outskirts, not London. London is pretty much max. So therefore, if you buy a property, you may end up. I have a friend recently who was trying to sell their property. They sell below market value. They bought for more and sold for less. House prices have come down in the UK. So yes, there's still money to be made, but you'll be looking on the outskirts, the very small places where redevelopments are happening. There's still potential for growth in those areas. But for me, Dubai offers a lot more than that. So I've got Dubai's residency, for example. I got that. What does that do for me? The residency gives me opportunities in the country. I go to these countries now. I don't just want to enter with this thing. I want to enter as a resident. Wow. Because the moment you are seen as a resident, more opportunities are given to you. Right from the airport, they tell you, welcome back. I'm supposed to go to stand in one queue where you are clean, you go to show visa. So real estate now goes beyond that. In the Dubai real estate market, they are still up and coming. And the forecast that I did for UK many years ago is what enabled me to build, enabled my growth. Because at the time I started, things were not as they were now. So it enabled me to build a lot. So the thing about real estate is forecasts. You must know how to forecast. Get into the market when nobody else is seeing it. Get into the market when nobody knows the ins and the outs yet. When you're able to do that, you're able to maximize your potential for growth, money, everything. So when I entered, that's why a lot of my properties, what do? I remortgage. So how do I get these funds? I don't go and borrow money from anywhere. It is the asset that I have. So when your property has appreciated, like some of you will have property now. If you check your property, you have 250,000 inside. You only just say, hey, I have the money. That and UK people know how to be proud of this their money. I don't have to have in my property. The money they don't steal. It is only on paper that you see the thing that your property is worth so and so. They go to Zoopla. My friend the other day was saying, yeah, that time when we bought the property, it was 189. I didn't know what it is at 300 and something. I say, money, we lost some paper. Look, there's nothing wrong with that. It is good, right? We want to pay off. We want equity. But that money that you have in that your one property, sitting down doing nothing. How about you pull it out? That 150 that you have in that property, how about you pull it out and go and buy 3 more? Is there anything wrong with you getting 3 more properties? No. The properties that I have now, I've exhausted all my children. You're sitting on leverage. Thank you. You are sitting on leverage you are not using. My property at 350 equity need to. No. Take that money out. Use it to buy 3, 4 more properties. All my Dubai properties have exhausted all my children's names on them. The next one I was going to do, I said, which name will I put this in now? Because most of them, I don't want them to be in my name. But obviously, I'm a lot older, right? So it's now in the kids' names. And that's what legacy is. And they are aware that these properties are in their name. So much so, let me give you a joke of this show agency. So one of the children, I said, so we are going to say, he said, okay, what now happens for me? I said, what do you mean what now happens? He said, will I be collecting the rent? I said, you'll be cheap. You want to collect rent? No. Did you buy it? But they understand that, okay, this is a good thing, but what are we saying? At the end of the day, like I said to them, it's going to be yours in the end. I said, but for now, I'll be the chopper. Tomorrow, when I'm no more having, that is what legacy is. So to summarize, without taking too much of you guys' time, is investment. Saving is good, but invest, right? Invest your money. And one of the sure ways, there's crypto, there's hedge fund, there's so many ways. Your ETFs, your investment, but all those are good. I always say like Tokwe mentioned a little bit, I said there are 7 streams of income everybody must have. 7 streams. You don't have to have 7, of course. I have 4. I have 4, 5. But one does not cut it anymore in this current climate we're in. Whether you're working your land paper, what else are you doing? Are you investing those small money? Like my sister, who put that $10. $10 became 50. Imagine if you have put $1,000. Are you doing a bit of that? Because that must be part of your portfolio. I always say there are 3 ways of income you must be making. Short term, medium term, long term. Short term for me is my Airbnb. That's what gives me my daily cash. That's what I live on every day. My medium term are my stocks and shares. I invest it there, I leave it for some time. Maybe I check that, ask my broker, so which one? What's the market like? I don't know how to trade. So I get a broker who does it for me. Do we just play around with it a little bit now? Maybe I can pull something out of it. That's my medium term. My long term are my real estate business. That's all. So you must have 3 ways that money comes to you. Right? That is how ultimately you can be wealthy. Wealth is not, they say that wealth leaves clues. It's not something you bump into. Wealth is something you build strategically. You must know what you're doing and planning it accordingly. So that is how I have done now. And that's the same that anybody can do yours. Just talking about that, even when I talked about the fact that my real estate now has become cross-border. I do real estate in Nigeria as well. Lands in Nigeria. Dr. knows that because my investment is in her house too. Land, buy there and forget it. Forget you have it. A few years down the line, when they tell you to buy the land, you will not believe it. If you want to sell at that time, pull the money. What I do is I leave it there for it. When I feel that it has appreciated and I need the fund, I sell it or do whatever I want to do, pull it out and go and reinvest. So you'll be spending your money on errands many different directions. So there's money coming here, there for me. And that's how I live my life. Right? Talking about the cross-border as well, which some people like may be interested in. The Dubai one we talked about is a good way to enter the market. Why do I say that? Especially for us in the UK. With the taxes they are using to pursue us. The government that has said you must remain here, you must not go. Sometimes putting your money outside of the country. I always tell my clients, I said, that money you put in, the good thing is that when you buy a real estate investment in Dubai, it qualifies you for a golden visa. Whether it's 2 years, whether it's 10 years, depends on which one. But you get residency to stay in the country. And then that automatically allows you to open a bank account. Your rents, leave it there. You bring it to the UK, they will tax. Yeah. So that's also another way you can start to accumulate funds outside of this country. But also at the same time, having funds, having access to the money. So, brothers, sisters, at the end of the day, just to end on that notice, wealth is not built by magic. It is not, you don't stumble into it. Wealth is built strategically. And as long as you have an income, I always say, even with the Dubai properties, that they have payment plans that are so little that is doable for anybody who has 9-to-5 job. That's the way they encourage you, which typically we don't get in UK. UK, you know how we do it, like you must save your £50,000 to buy property of 200,000. Right? But the Dubai one allows you so different types of payment plans that makes it doable from your salary. You can pay from your salary over a 2-3 period of plan investments. So at the end of the day, there are ways that real estate can see. Because with people always think that for real estate, you have to have 1 million, you have to have 10 million, you have to These days, even 1 million will give you land. Nobody knows that. 1 million will give you land in Lagos, in Nigeria right now. Even if it's in Ogun State, Ogun State and Lagos State, you can't differentiate now because everywhere is near. But what I'm basically saying is to round up is no money is too late to start from where you are. Gone are the days when you think that real estate, you have to have big money sitting somewhere. No, you can start as you are. It is a commitment, it is a determination, it is all of that that helps you to start to build and to grow. Any questions? Yes, please.
The Dubai real estate.
Yes.
I have interest in it.
Yeah.
It's something that I've always
Exactly.
Exactly. So the issue have always been, what are those real, the real estate people, the actual, yeah. Because most of the time I've seen people saying, oh, they went into the wrong hands.
Yeah.
They went into the wrong hands.
Yeah.
These have always been my
With your fear.
last 2 weeks, my friend relocated with his family to Dubai. I even said to him, please, one thing I want you to do for me there. I don't want to get me anything. I just want to know that developer that I can come to us.
So my real estate company, we work with the developers, a lot of developers in London. It's no cost to you. It's no cost to you at all. But yes, in every market, there will be scrupulous people now.
Yeah.
Even in the UK, there are scrupulous people. But the one thing you need to know about the market there is the fact that safety, when it comes to real estate, is very key. The government has made it that way, right? Because the person you are actually even buying the property from is not anybody, it's the government themselves. So the developers have what they call an escrow account, right, with the government. So if you are, for example, you are a developer's name is Johnson. So Johnson will open an escrow government account when they don't have access to the money. Yes. Because God forbid if anything happens, the government will give you back your money. That's a surety that they have.
That's it.
Yes. So it's an environment that way they care for their family and they keep you safe. You know why? Because Dubai has a long-term plan, what is called a 3D plan. They know that for the next 10 years, right? Their population is currently 4 million. The next 10 years, they want their population to become 8 million. So there's an average of 100,000 people relocating there every year, and those people need places to stay, right? And their biggest market is from tourism. And their target countries, UK, US, Canada, all of these other countries, because our currencies are higher. So those are their target areas. They want, when we go there, people like me as a Brit, they treat me like a king. Yes, because they want our money. So they have made it in a way that you don't need to worry. It's safe. Hand on chest, it is safe. As long as you're buying from the right person. Know who you are. A lot of these things, it's not like Nigeria where there's lots of middlemen. You are dealing directly with developers. So when the developer want to see your money, developers that are selling units of 1 billion, 4 billion a day, when they launch a project, no, now they can't run now.
You know, around here,
yes, sir.
And the question is, I know there'll be a lot of interest. How much make up? How much can you invest
exactly
as a kickoff?
Exactly. So it depends on which project. Like every other thing, you start from the studio to a 1 bedroom, to 1 bed, 2 bed. Everything depends on your budget. Let's take, for example, the smallest, which is studio. Studio is what we call in Nigeria room apartment, right? Where everything is in one. So the average cost of a studio will be £140,000, right? So Dubai offers a mortgage. So to make simplify things for us, they offer us a mortgage of 50%. So out of that 140, for example, 440,000, you only paid 80,000, the real sense of it. And that 80,000, you will spread the payment over time, maybe 3 years. So I'll give you an example of one of my development now that has just been launched. So the first payment you will make is 5%, 5% of 140. Right? That's what you start off with, which is called expression of interest. Then you have the next 4 months to pay 20%, right? So let's just say 5%, who can do math? Who's doing math here? 5% of 140. So that we are working with actual figures.
7,000.
Another 1 or 2 months, another 7,000. Another 1 to 2 months, another 7,000. Another 1 to 7,000. So if we do 5%, 5%, that's 7. Yes. The rest you can be paid 1,000 something a month. Pounds. That's
so you pay 28,000 within the first 4 months.
Yes. And then after that 1,005. Well, I know that is because I have that project.
So which means if they are renting that place, can they get that money?
Straight up. But these are off plan.
Yeah.
So the payment plans are like that because completion is 2028, 2029.
Okay.
Now, what is that good for you? That's why I say it's an investment. Because by 2028, 2029, some of the projects that I have, I don't plan to keep it to the end. At the time of handover, I will sell. I pull out the money that I've made. I put in there plus my profits. and use that investment to do something else. So there has to be a strategy and a plan. So I have a huge portfolio in Dubai. Well, all of those, my portfolio, each of those properties has a rule instead of them. So when I bought it, I decided what I'm going to do at the end from the beginning. It's all a strategy. As I say, wealth creation is strategic.
What's like the forecast of what?
So for example, let me give you a simple forecast, even by my own. So for example, I bought a studio 2026, 2024 at 565 in Durham, which was about 120. Now the cheapest studio you will get is 785. I've not received project. Maybe I still rebuild that. I have over 250,000 dirham in it. Divide that by 4.91, we'll get the pound figure.
So yeah, so that what we need to get is the same application. You went from 50
585 is what I bought. Now the average studio price is 785.
less than
I have in less than I've not received the units. I'm not being keys on it. They haven't delivered it to me, but I have over 200,000 sitting on it. So that is
that's over 50% in 2 years.
Thank you.
So I know that with Dubai, before you get the property, there's at least 50%.
100%
off plan, and it is liquid.
Yes.
The challenge in Nigeria is, and I play in the Nigerian real estate, it's not liquid. Our real estate in Nigeria, you have the capital appreciation, it's not easy to convert into cash.
Yes.
The way Dubai is, because
is.
Dubai market is not just Nigerians buying it.
Yes.
It's the entire world. But the Nigerian real estate is only the Nigerian that are buying it. So the diversifying portfolio makes
even one of the properties that I'm currently, I went to a property show, and the guy said, I went to a property show just an agent who's displaying different other people's other developers. They were asking me, that's your Daman property. I have somebody who will buy it off you. Imagine, I'm not prepared to sell it. When the thing never started to rise, I think to max very well if I collect it. So that's the sort of thing we're talking about. You have to have a strategy. But the bottom line of what I'm saying to you is start to, and my mentees, what they say to me, the people who invest, who have invested in me, they will always say, thank you so much. They say, because you helped us keep a check on our finances. When you have a project you're doing that you're investing into, those frivolous spendings. One of the girls said to me, she said she had shoes in her bag, 3,000, total of 3,000, that she had already put in the basket, in the shopping basket, that she was only going to pay for summer this year. I said, go and empty that basket immediately and bring that 3,000 and go and invest. Till tomorrow, she's thanking me because she hasn't only done a residential, she's done a commercial. Because commercial are the big cake. So if you are one of those who want to play big, go commercial. Because one of my commercials is I get an average of 40,000 pounds a year. And those type of ones you are getting, because a company, a shop, supermarket who wants to rent it, they don't want to rent for 1 year because they know that if they don't pay you upfront, you increase rent next year. So they can pay you 3 years upfront because in Dubai, the payment of the year is annual, like Nigeria.
It's annual rent.
So if you want to play on the big scale, yes, you get, you get your bulk money. And imagine one of the guys who bought from me, he got 2 retail. One of them, when they took it, the supermarket took it, they paid him for 3 years. Wow. About $120,000. That was crazy money. He has gone on to buy lots of other investments. So the potential is huge. And discipline yourself, because at the end of the day, all this our wig, shoe and bag, we cut it off. Why? Because you have something you're paying for. So look outside to a market that there's still potential to make good money in it.
Thank you, ma'am. I think I've been to Dubai. I think we've been there 3 times.
Yes, sir.
And the fast growing business there is real estate.
It is, sir.
And every time I go, they are ready to sell me a property.
100%.
And what I've seen is that it's now becoming a white elephant. I tour around. There's a lot of empty buildings over there in Dubai that they are looking for people to occupy or sell to. And if one is not careful, it can become a negative effect. And that is just the concern that I have as far as Dubai is concerned. Wherever you go in Dubai, you will see all these fine
Gigantic project.
skyscraper, fancy project.
Yeah.
Empty.
Yeah.
Empty. And you see a lot of signboards wherever you go, develop. They've all been named, giving names like an estate or
Yes.
private property. So there's so many of them,
Yes.
and they are not occupied.
So that's the conception people have here. Remember, each year, the population of Dubai is increasing by the day. So last year, the people who relocated were in the 70s, last 2 years. Last year, it was 100,000 people. So a lot of these things, these projects we're talking about, they're not projects that are ready now. They're projects that are forecasting. Every day,
Yes.
communities are being opened. Infrastructure is growing. So it's tapping into a growing market. That is what we're keying into. It's tapping into a growing market, which the society will catch up in time. The truth of the matter is that whether these things are happening every day, we all know, whether it's in Nigeria, any part of the world, real estate price is going up. How much was cement last year in Nigeria? How much is cement now? Do you think that when a developer is pricing a building now, they will price at what cement was yesterday? No. So every day it is increasing. So therefore, enough of the time, that is the misconception people have. And I agree because we heard that. But I am there. I go there every year. I'm not a resident. I'm seeing the market. I'm seeing what is happening. For me, the focus is the end goal. It's long-term investments. Okay. So at the end of the day, that money you will put today, it will be better than if you invested it here in London. I would still rather do it there because that property, for my case, I bought 585, 785 now. I haven't taken it on. So that alone is stuff. It's everything we're talking about.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Once again,
Thank you so much.
the conversation is broad. There is real estate, but she also mentioned shares. And I think it's extremely important. If you check globally, if you're talking about investment, they will tell you to always buy S&P 500, buy the index shares. They are very, very powerful. They are like slow, easily unassuming, but steadily growing your wealth. And they are also liquid. Now, depending on your risk appetite, buying individual shares can be risky. And I love risk. Money comes, money goes, Barack remain there, and I'll create another one. But not everyone would think like me. So I always say to advise for Nigerian investment to equity. The equity market in Nigeria, like if you're doing their index fund equity market in Nigeria right now, just this year has done 60%. 60%. I mean 10 million in January, that means drawn 60 million right now. The ordinary county wise has done 50%.
52%.
Year to date. There are places people are quietly building wealth. Your job is to ensure you are having the conversations that convert your money into wealth. You know, we say we're turning our M into W. You need to have those conversations, whether it is through real estate in Dubai, which I will ask everybody here to do, and I will collect your number. Okay, you have a sheet of paper, interest, so that we shall follow up with you to ensure if you are interested in Dubai, you take a step in. I'll get your details. But even if this is not what you can do now, of which I wanted her to share, because she had discussed it, that she sold a lot of her properties here to go there. And I knew when she was buying the first one. We just carry her say, enter. The next thing she say, is this how money is in this place? I am leaving my UK and going there. But it is not, it's a diversified portfolio you need.
Yeah.
You can't put everything into Dubai real estate.
Yeah.
You can put everything into UK real estate. You can't put everything into Nigeria real estate. It is why even I do real estate in Nigeria, I say, oh, let's go to US together. We can do UK. We can do Dubai. So even at that, I'm still saying do shares. like you must be able to do liquid mutual money markets, have it in money markets so that emergency fund I can easily touch it anytime I need it, or it's there. You have to be able to have a little bit of all of this to have balanced diet. You cannot say I like rice so much, you only eat rice. There's a problem. You need to be able to take a bit of everything under intelligent guidance.
Yes.
Not the one that you are doing. It's like you're gambling with the process and you might end up losing all. People lose investments like that. The Dubai that is so profitable, Dubai is protecting every investment because that's their money. And yet people lose money in Dubai. So I'm wondering, how can people lose money in Dubai? It's how you get in because you're not going to pay into anybody's personal account to buy any property. Even Dubai will tell you you're going to pay into the company's account alone. If you are buying to Dubai, it's not the money is not going into our account. You must go into that company's account because once that money is cool, and once that money enters there, if you contest anything, the government responds to you. In Nigeria, we are the ones issuing our deed of assignment, then go and meet governor for governance consent. In Dubai, is the only document you can get the property is from the government. Direct, no middleman. So they know when your money enters, still they are aware. There's so much structure to protect the investor. However, there was a time as a Nigerian passport holder, I don't have residency yet. We are coming. They say all of us, because we have Nigerian passport, we shouldn't come to their country.
That was cultism.
Yeah.
The rubbish on that stuff.
All you have, and yes, you have your account, which is why the residency is important. Don't invest small. You need to invest enough to get the residency so that you can have your ATM and spend it. My current hotel accommodation was paid for by my real estate in the US because my US real estate goes into my Bank of America account. And that Bank of America account, I have it with me. So I just swipe the card. So I can afford to live to flex my flex here, not based on my hustle of Nigeria, but based on my investments over years. So if you live here, you can decide that, okay, I'm going to play the numbers they want us to play here, but my big numbers are happening in other places where there's tax. I really want all of us to, there's an assignment I'll ask everybody to do. You need to research tax efficiency. Like, how can I be more tax efficient? Think about enrolling with a particular person who understands how to play the tax game. All of us can be in the same game, but the ones that know how to play the game are the ones that win that game. That's why you know the rules. That's why they call it the game of money. There are rules to the game. There are rules to tax. And since you are ignorant of the tax system, then you will be the one funding the system. Exactly. And really, it's only the ignorant that fund the system. Let's not be ignorant about tax opportunities, please.
So then I wanted to share my journey, but I wasn't prepared to talk today. And to put on with a lot of things what Kosai said. Education is really key. And even the SAS, I learned it because I went to an education for the top education. And I mentioned calls me. And I would say that our network, your association, you're the average of the 5 people around you. That's it. And it's key that we make sure that we're looking for, we must be hungry enough to want something different. Exactly. And then you're looking for that network, or you're looking for those kind of people who want to go to where you want to go, who are doing the things you want to do. Exactly. When I started so this is a family staff that I have with my husband and of course I put my children as they get to the age, I put them in, I only have 2. And the truth is, the first time I started like in a room, and I was only black person, and there was a lot of white people, and we're talking millions, and everybody will just bring the money, and they're investing to do a deal, Like, someone is done. Where are my black people? Where? Oh my God. And because they've been with themselves for a while, so I had to join the community. So the community, I'm not saying it's cheap, but honestly, it is worth the investment in the long run. And so I joined the community, and that's how you also build trust, because you have to build credibility.
Mm.
People have to trust you because, and then once a deal comes, where that community goes that, okay, oh, all right, I'll put 20K, I'll put 50K, and we'll put money in it, and we do what we want to do over how many months, maybe 12 months, and then body's done, property sold, or whatever it is that it is we're putting money into, we get our money back. And then in there, we still do third-party lending. People who want to give will come and say, "Oh, I need so. Well, okay, do you want to invest in this?" But as black people, I don't know many of that kind of community.
Yeah.
But I only got that opportunity because I paid. I wasn't small money. I cannot rely to go to touchstone education, and that's why today, I mean, I do a bit of residential, but it's not my thing. I love commercial. Anyone who knows me knows that I don't like stress of landlord and all of that. So, but with all the things Osaya said, with property, you have to see which strategy suits you.
Yeah.
Find what your strength is and go with it. So there was a time I've always known I wanted commercial. So I was doing small with residential and buy to let. But I did service accommodation big time once, and that was my focus because it was good money. I mean, it's still good money, but I don't do it as much anymore because it's just taking a lot from me.
Yeah.
I was looking for more hands free.
Exactly.
But if you rent is an amazing thing. You will be amazed what you can do with someone else's property, what you can get in a month from it. And you can scale, if that's your interest, scale it and do more with service accommodation. Go and rent a property and then go. Now the market is saturated, but I always say, as a believer, honestly, the sky is wide. So anywhere you set, you as long as you have the leading and you know that you're happy to do the work. Honestly, wealth can be created anyhow. One time when I was closing down I had a lot before COVID of service accommodation, and COVID hit and there was major. I was like, okay, God, what are we going to do this stage? Meanwhile, I used to have a day job. Like I used to work in the city, and it was stressful enough. And I was like, what is this? I can't be throwing my money anymore. Service accommodation, And the Lord said to me, look, I can bring you money anyhow. You just need to open your mind and see what's possible. And I realized that some of the units I closed, somebody just rang me and said, oh, I want property in an area that I don't even have. I'm like, I don't have property in that area. I'm like, please. Look at the ones that have rent those. And something just said, I feel like the Holy Spirit said, call them. So I said, I dropped the phone, call them back. So I called the person back. And I said, okay, what do you need and what? And they needed 4 extra properties, which I found for them. And I did the work once. And they were there for 8 months. It was not my property. I didn't have to worry about cleaning. I didn't have to worry about paying anything. It was just free money that was coming. And so sometimes we're so close, we don't see opportunity because we're not looking for it. That's it. We're not hungry enough now that I've come. I'm sorry because of you. I've come here. Because especially my family have just been to buy, and I will keep all the life in this place and all of that. So now I've been interested in properties there, but I've gone to look around. But okay, let's just chill out until the right connection, the right people come. Maybe this was why today we go. But honestly, we have to also our cultural bias doesn't help as well because we have come from a place where everybody's like this what keep quiet. And it doesn't help our community, it doesn't help us to be able to collaborate. That's the most powerful thing that we can do. See Asian people. Yeah, they collaborate, and that's why they can scale. They have taken over this country. I mean, I came here about almost 20 years ago now. Yeah. They have taken over everything because they collaborate. They do things together, but we don't trust ourselves bad enough. Well, and there's good grounds for that because there are some people are just their mind is just what with how they want to just scheme you and do all of that. So honestly, we must create groups and communities where we can begin to build trust and leverage. Because who I know is not not won't open and leverage on that and be able to do things bigger and better instead of doing silo stuff and having 3 property and just being small. They said, oh, we can actually maybe when we collaborate and when we do things together, when you see someone who's doing something, doing well, want to learn from them, work with them, invest in what they're doing because we see the vision, invest in it, and also want to share my journey of being having a diversified portfolio, which is really key. Apart from if sometimes we think, oh, I need big money to get into real estate. If you just need small money, so this recently I found about dividend paying shares. And I just put some money in it. I'm like, okay, at least what can pay me one thing because they pay you dividend every month. And that is also another way of income. Knowing that, okay, I can get returns monthly because I put money in shares that is paying dividend. These shares are amazing. Also, I paid more money for education to go to where I can trade. I'm learning to trade to be able to stock and shares and all of that. I started 2 years ago, but I wasn't serious last year. For 1 year, so they have about 4 strategies. Only one strategy that I tried and I put money. I had 14% return in 1 year. Just one thing. I just you go to class, they tell you, okay, this, do your analysis and put your money here. And I put money there. I wasn't even diligent. I wasn't looking. I just go every 2 months and like, let's just close. What's the other thing? But honestly, there are opportunities there. Yeah. And we need to be speaking more to each other. We need to be talking more because she might know something that I don't know. We need to share. We need to be open and honest. We need to be open and honest and stop being say, oh, let me see what I'm doing because we're here to help each other and honestly, that's what it's all about. But diversify, shares and stocks, ETFs, amazing. Yeah. That one of the reasons why I came here, I was going to sleep. I was like, everybody meet up, but is doing these amazing things because I'm planning to go to Nigeria. Like, let's come and show me the road. So this is how we should leverage and honestly making sure that we're leveraging our networks and what people are doing, invest in it. If you see opportunity, you don't have the strength and capacity, invest in someone else. Collaborate with people. See what they're doing, but do your due diligence. Don't just throw your money out or money anywhere. Do your due diligence. See what people are doing. If it's good, if it's yielding interest, do it. And then that way you're not working yet. The money is working for you. You're focusing on what you enjoy or what you want to do. That's it. Awesome. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I want to bring in our next speaker in person of Mr. Peter. Mr. Peter was a very gentrified person. I have taken him out of his usual element to just sit down and do the work. But he has a unique story, I believe we can all learn from. Dr. Louis would always say that he has made more money from teaching about his mistakes and his failures than his successes. Many people pay for his mentorship and coaching programs just so that we can learn not to make the mistakes he made. Because he made very expensive mistakes, but now he has made multiple money that what he lost in those mistakes, teaching us not to make those same mistakes. So I'm going to be Mr. Peter is my
I want to say that because I think it's a forum where everybody can. Thank you to be on the good afternoon, everyone. I hope you don't mind if I sit down. Thank you.
You want to stretch your leg.
No, I will as I go. Good afternoon once again. My name is Peter. Let me just give a quick background about myself and so that we can be able to connect. I love the interactive session where I will talk with you, deliberate, and if you want to ask anything, you can also ask. I came from a very humble background, and I'm into real estate as my core major business. And I'm a managing director for the Associates, also Brian is involved. I'm director of the different company. But Associates is the real estate company that I use as my tool in terms of wealth creation. So we're based in UK, yeah, and in London, and we're also based in the US, Texas, Cyprus, we have an office in Cyprus, and also in Nigeria. And luckily, unfortunately, she has also talked about Dubai. We are not in Dubai, but we're in UAE. We are in UAE, but our office is based in Ajman. After Dubai, you get to Sharjah, then you get to Ajman. So I'll tell you a little bit about that and why we choose Ajman instead of Dubai. And then a lot of couple of things I'm going to share with you as well. So those are the branches that we use different strategies in terms of real estate strategy. We have talked about rent to rent, into that. We'll talk about buy to let. We'll talk about service accommodation. We'll talk about different kind of strategy, but we're using the one that we felt is okay to manage within the culture of our business. So that is who I am. I'm into social as well, social housing, and also health and social care as well. And we do a couple of things. But because when you have a dream, then you work towards the dream. So a lot of additional dream will be flowing in, and before you know it, you find yourself in different kind of multiple things. So that's a little bit of who I am. And software asked me to talk about my journey and my mistakes. And I believe I'm in the comfort zone of my family. My story may not be your story, but I want you to just take one or two things. Coming into this country, to be honest with you, I don't know anybody. I don't have any family. I have someone that is very generous for coming to me. Sometimes not looking across the border. So coming here, I have something at the back of my mind, and that is the first thing I want to tell you: the mindset. My mindset before coming here is that I want to make it in life, because I came from a very humble background. In my language, they say some people come from, sorry, Apata today, some come from Hereford today. There's two different things. If you're coming from Apata, you are there. But if you're coming from more, it will take you time to come. So coming into this country, my mindset changed. And I want to make it. I want my children to call me a blessed person. So I want to be wealthy. That has been my mindset. So the first key thing is your mindset in your journey of life. Whatever you want to be, honestly, if you say you can make it, you are right. And if you say you cannot make it, you're also right. So it depends on your mindset. So I choose that I want to make it, and I'm walking in the path, and I allow my mindset to align with the universe. So that me all along. The second thing I did after having that mindset is to understand the system. I'm not in Nigeria, whereby I can knock a door and Madam, give me something easily. Or if you have any issue, I can, hello, honorable, it's me. I can easily get away. So I need to understand the system. So I took my time to understand the system, and I'll said to myself, I need to learn more about the system. The tax system, the working hours, how you can do 3, 4, 5 jobs and do the conversion in your brain, how much is that now, how much I going to go. So a lot of things I want to understand the way it works. So the second thing I did was to understand the system. And in understanding the system, it made me to understand the opportunities that are available for people who have status in this country. Not illegals. All right, thank you. I want to see the British among us. Well done, thank you. The illegals means the legals. Those that are illegal, those that are here without papers. So I try as much as possible to understand that opportunities are available, but I must have what it takes to enhance that opportunity. So I start working towards that. Cut a long story short, yes, I have what it takes. The status changed. And I have to pursue the mindset and the journey which I have for myself. Now, another thing that I now want to do to discuss state, because I'm taking it one step at a time, mindset, understanding the system. Now, how do I go about achieving my goal? I need to put a structure in place. Then I stumbled on a book written by Kiyosaki, which gives that for that. That's when I realized the fact that knowledge is power, information is power. So that portrays the point that I can use real estate to get wealth and to become wealthy. So I now started thinking about the first thing I need to do, which is structure. I want to have real estate business, but I need to structure it. Because when you are talking about real estate, you need to understand which angle are you going to come into. Do you want to run it as a business, or you want to run it as an investor? So those are the two different things. And if you don't understand the structure, and if you're not structuring it very well, the tax man will get you. And that's why you need to understand the system. And understanding the system, you understand the system. So I now structure it. I want to do it as a business and also as an investor. And I start running those two. So what name do I give to my business? I begin to come up with different names. So I came up with Dave Associate. Dave, my partner is Ray, and my own is Dave. I just make it and I want to associate with a lot of people like you. I want to be in your corner. I want to be there with you. I want to make money with you. So that came about. So I'll go to the next stage. Right, I need to add value to myself. I'm only giving you my step-by-step journey in this company. I'm trying to explain to you that it is possible. I want you to understand that it doesn't mean if you start today, you cannot make it. Anytime you let that mindset fall around and you change it, that you want to make it, that is when your journey begins. So I want to look at how to add value to myself. Now, I've seen some of the friends that I have, I call them, sorry, I want to come and say hello to me. Oh, no, sorry, I'm in the meeting. Oh, I have coursework. Oh, I'm having some kind of good discussion. Excuse me. But where I come from, even classroom, we hold book like we are going to hold our home to listen to lecture. We don't even have coursework. We don't even have anything. So, what does that mean? Say, oh, I'm in the uni. Oh, you're in the uni. Oh, I want to go to the uni as well. So I ventured into uni and I went to London Southbank University. I want knowledge. I want to understand this business. I want to learn more. I want to understand how to go about it. And that was how I started having value to myself, attending seminars, reading books. When they told me, when the top nation books like I've gone there to try to pick my immediately because number one, I understand knowledge and information. After reading as transformation, I thought I would be the one like mastering the money. So if I'm still that you get so I created quests for knowledge, information. I created a library for myself, and I began to apply books, things similar. My mentor, Dr. Vivian Manuel, when I first went to store, I got all the books because I know they always say this. If you want to hide anything away from the black man, put it in the book, so they will never get. But I know that that's where people's experiences, knowledge, what they have gone through, they put it in the book. So I cannot reach you, but I can reach you via your book. So I try to so that helped me. And I started the journey. Starting asking for, I want to buy property. I want to buy property. You don't have a dime. I just begin to ask questions about how can I buy a property? How can I have my own property? Before I know it, I stumbled in the midst of someone. So I don't know where I'm going to introduce you a broker. I went there asked me some few questions. I think one and I answered everything. So you know what? During that period, they do 0%. And they use the system at that time whereby they call it bridging loan. The money will go from your bank to the solicitor's bank, will go back again, and you just pay token as interest. So 0% deposit. So at the end of the day, I got my first property. Taking my wife there to the property, oh, there's cat here. What I see, you're not seeing. What I know, you don't know. Okay. I hold on, let's go together because the confusion in the home, when I said I want to use money for this, and you say no, but if on the same page, you'll be able to make decision quicker. So decide the journey. After buying the first one, we now started thinking about I went to work. Somebody was just looking through the newspaper. And I saw this another property. That one is broken. I said, I love this property. And then I go and just give it to me. But I thought, I said, we're going for the second one. When are you going to get the money? When are you going to... No! Understand the system. We can be financed. And then we can finance. Before between 6 months, 1 year down the line, the value have increased. Then we contacted the bank. We released the meeting. We got the second one. And then, the long story continued. That was how I started the property journey. Now, in my question for asking for information and attending seminars, I now felt I needed more than what I'm using. So I also went to an academy to practice property in Petersburg. I was able to learn all the laws of strategies in real estate. So, wow, that's good. That led me to the next point, which is paying forward. That is a sealed road. That is a very bumpy road. It is the life. And that's why I don't like motivational speakers. They'll come and talk to me about their successes, how they are having millions by the judge without telling me your failures, your challenges, things that you face. My dear sister, my dear brother, I faced a lot. So the next point is paying forward. What do I do with my failures? I use my failures as a stepping stone to forging, because my mindset has been fixed that I want to make it in life. So failing forward, that comes, experiences comes, my mistakes, I begin to look at them and say, oh my God. And when you bring money to the table, that is where your mother will say, welcome. But when you bring problem, the question will be, how did you get it? How do I work? We're using calm down. It's a system. We're working in a system. Let's quiet again. So I failed forward by using my experiences, my failures, my mistakes as a way to move ahead. Now going ahead to the next step, networking, association. Today I met I never meet up when it's like this. We're sitting beside ourselves. Universe brought us together at Dr. Mide's event. Fortunately, we don't start there. I don't even know who, but she has this kind of vibes that I say, oh my God, I wish I'm like this. That she's a good, she's blah, blah, blah. So I said, okay, let me just connect with that. So I work with her and a couple of other people that I've met in my journey association. They can either push me or pull me down. So I begin to network, begin to talk to people, begin to move people, and I begin to build my network. And during my networking stage, and I decided that's when I got to understand that you can create generational wealth. That is when I understand the importance of a mentor. So I now connected with Dr. William, my Nigerian mentor. I have one here in the UK, I have one in the US. So now, just opening up, know how of the property all over the place, globally, and other you are not going to do Nigeria. You're going to do my global money. So if I want to do anything, I do not money because when I go to him, I tell him I have done this and I've made this mistake. He said to me, so, you just go to university. You just take it. So whatever you've lost is nice. So you just pay some fees. You've done something, you pay. So that got me to the state of working with my mentor, guiding me, making sure that I don't make mistakes. And the mistake they have be able to support me on others. And that led me to the next stage in my journey. I started yearning for growth. I don't want to be anymore. All right, Nigeria. Then ventured into the US. I remember when someone was calling me, hello, you want to buy property in your US and this one, thank you. And I was like, oh, no, don't worry, we're next out already, we're coming. So that opened my mind. I am now at the stage of growth. And I said, people are talking about Asia, now, I'm looking in Nigeria. We have an office in the church. We're children as well. We have in the US. Now, what should I do? I want to go to UAE. So, you know, when you land in Dubai, you see a lot of people coming to you. Then we'll take you to some places, we'll show you some things, they'll be advertised on marketing, real estate to do. So that day, I went with my family, they just said, let's just go for holiday. And landing, they just come into know, people, don't worry, we'll come and pick you, we'll check you there, we'll come up. I was just like, just adjust to it. You know, when it's, and I'm coming from growth mindset. And I've been thinking, UAE. So I said, can we just go and visit this person, these people? Let's just see what they're doing. So going into the office, okay, they'll go and pick us, blah, blah, blah. People took us down to the office, they showed us Palmera, Jumeirah side. Some of them, if you see the architectural design, you'll go, wow. Don't forget, your mindset, if it's rightly placed, the universe will make things to work in your favor. We sat down, each and every one, their staff will come outside and call your name, then you follow them. They're calling people, they've been calling people, just stand up. All of a sudden, a guy came up, Mr. Peter, Mr. Peter. I said, oh, I'm there. I followed him. Do you know that was the beginning of my journey in UAE? That becomes my business partner in UAE. Wow. He's the one at the office with the staff and everything, managing properties, the sort of opportunity to call me with hand and I group. So open a business in UAE. Wow, we have to go through the procedure, the picture, and then we have to wear the white something and put something and do all that. Register the company, we have partners, and some of the directors, the one managing the company right now, in the office, with the staff, the marketers going here and there. And an opportunity came that said, hey, I said, when we set up, we're not settling down, I want us to be in the back. So, Peter, no, me live here. Me don't want us to start from the back because, there is a principle that says, let's start small, then we bring up. If you know how much the office is costing Dubai, no, brother, we are going to expand. I said, all right, go to expand, we start small, then we build up. In our open my understanding that one day, they pushed it become a city. Now, we went to Ajlan. The setup cost is different from that of Dubai. And because it's on ground, we started working all those stuff. An opportunity came. If there's a land, they want to sell. Because Ajman, their Sadiq is different from that of Dubai. So we want to encourage people to also come to Ajman. So freehold everything, top of the land, about 400,000 dirham. We've not built, just to buttress your point. Is they are asking to buy from us for 800,000 dirham. Now, I came back from Dubai and from a week ago. They give me residence. So you have to go every 6 months. So a lot of things, opportunities that are opening. Now, the principle of real estate is the same everywhere, but its application is contextual and environment and the association people with. It's the same thing. The principle is there. You can replicate it anywhere in the world. So I decided to do that. Then we thought about it. Now we're going into construction to see what we can do to be able to now. I said, let us bring a developer. Let them develop. Things. No, Peter, no, my brother. No. It will be, I've done my calculations. We're going to make 500,000. That won't be. But if we build ourselves, we do the cost of my land and everything, we're going to be making 1 million dirham. We will build ourselves. Don't worry. Let's hold on. We will build that. My journey started from someone who does not understand, coming from the low background. But the step that I took is what I'm sharing with you. My step may not work for you because we don't share the same mindset. Now, the next thing that I always put as part of whatever I do is the God factor. The God factor simply means that I work, I believe in God, and I try as much as possible to let everybody know that who I am, whatever I have today, it is not by knowledge or by wisdom, it is just God's grace and knowledge. So, because I appreciate that and I value my relationship with God and I accept it as I acknowledge Him as the one that has helped me so far. So that led me into the next stage of my journey to set up a foundation called Doom Tide Foundation International, looking after the widows, looking after the abandoned children, looking after people, the vulnerables, and the widowers, some that the breadwinners are falling into the hand of death, and they have no company that's sponsoring from them in terms of this. So we have that one based in Nigeria. We take some clothes from here, some of you that buy, and continue to buy clothes. Because when the fashion changes, you want to throw them away. You come to your house, we pack up again, striking them, make them and check. Today I saw one of our women that were looking after in the market wearing pajamas in the market. Mama, no, this pajamas is not meant for market. So do that as an empowerment program, and we're registered with Lagos State Government, Women Affairs, and also registered with the State Government Women Affairs to be able to support people because we're thinking global. We're thinking global because as God is blessing us, we also give to because don't forget God factor. We brought me this far and it helped people like you to bring me this far. And therefore, I also need to go ahead and give back and help others. That is my journey. Now, somebody asked me to talk about mistakes because the way I've expressed myself, the way I presented it, you guys are like, what a sweet journey. Oh my God, the journey is so sweet. No. Number first thing with my mistake is to allow my emotion to override my level of thinking. In business, in work creation, you don't allow the emotions to come in. You have to know how to tame the emotions. And the emotions will make me to go, this was up. If you see the kitchen, oh my God, oh my God, oh my. I never look at the value. I look at the needs. As an investor, no, as a property business person, you don't look at that. Look at how what value can you have. The price is 100,000. How can I make it 200,000? By converting the people in the thing, by converting the lots, making it more than then the value and make it more valuable. So I always allow emotion to override my thinking. The second thing is the fact that I do not understand deeply that the system encourages working with professionals. Papa said there is 5 people that must be within your circle. She mentioned 4. I help out to her. He said your accountant, your lawyer, your pastor, and she added doctor. I added your mentor to make it the 5th one. So those 5 people will help. I do not. I believe. Let's do it. I'll just do it. But when issues come, you understand the importance of having these professionals within the circuit. Now, some of us are guilty of it. I don't know. Most of us don't understand the system to the level of monitoring and looking after nurturing your credit profile. Your credit profile. Charlie, during my time when I was making those mistakes, someone 024, that is £2, can damage credit. Not understanding your credit profile, not checking it. I want to remove it, and there's money sitting down. I want to release it so that I can go and increase my portfolio. And they're telling me they cannot. Looking into my credit foundation, because mobile phone, I've damaged my credit. So I did not understand. So that was a mistake. I didn't know that they are calling me. You know, when they call you, when you're welcome to, I'm coming from Sky, I'm coming Sky. Talk to you later. Not before. They are calling you because there's payment that did not go through one way or the other. But you ignore. So I ignore. But they eventually call you. So it's a bad thing. So it was a very big mistake for me. And another thing that was a mistake as well, they call it people's factor. Forgetting that people who are working with me also have their own dream. Because if they are not pursuing their own dream, they are living another man's dream. So I built a structure, a system around them. I think 10 years' time, we're all together, nothing will happen. So I put people in places, I structurized it, created a system for myself, put people there, thinking that nobody's going anywhere. But the day they are removing the block, that means my system was faulty. I was supposed to create a system whereby nobody will be expensive. We're going, okay, don't worry, yeah, you take that because I'm around. Both of you are trained. Okay, two of you are going, okay, no problem, the 2 of you can expect it. So I was traveling, going here and there, trying to see opportunity, forgetting that the system created our own response. Because people start to understand. I cannot stop them from pursuing their goals. I cannot stop them from pursuing their dreams. And some of them, I use emotion to appoint them. Oh, sorry, what's your name, sir?
Yes.
The day you first came into the company, I could see you. Oh, sir, what can we do again, sir? You are the next manager. You are not the next manager. What is this qualification? What is his experience? What is his skills? What is his knowledge? How long does he stay with us? How reliable is he? How responsible is he? Don't even care. Because he has been asking, okay, which one can we do? And then I said, it's a big mistake. By the time everything with the system was falling apart, I was like, wow, what did I do here? What did I do that thing? So when you are creating your system, ensure that there is shock absorber at any point in time. I've also made some wrong choice of investment. You see, when you go to view property, like this wall now, the way it's being plasterboarded, painted, everything is beautiful. You just go there, I'm going for it. You sign dotted lines, contract signed. Then you say, okay, you want to put tenant in, only for tenant to just put a hand on the wall. Everything falling apart. The boiler falling apart. Everything, my goodness. So you are going to spend about 30,000 pounds to decorate the property.
I made that mistake.
So, sorry?
I made a similar mistake.
Oh, thank you. No, my twin brothers. So I made some of this. So now when I go to you, I'll be knocking the wall. But when I go there, I check, I go to the floor, I put the carpet. He said, Peter, what are you looking for? I said, no, I'm doing my due diligence. I'm so sorry. When was this not boiler? Yes. When was this service? When was this done without asking? Go outside because there is a pipe that come up from the that is sometimes will be a leakage.
Yeah.
So experience. So I've learned I made some bad choices. The next one, I do not care about this. Don't forget the structure of the business will let you understand whether you are running as a business, what kind of tax you are liable to, and if you're doing investment, what kind of tax you are liable to. Because when you sell, in this country, we all know when you buy, you pay tax. When you sell, you pay tax. When you're living in it, you pay tax. When you pass it on to the children, you pay tax. You don't know.
Yeah.
Because when you find out you're stopping stamp duty, when you're selling, you pay stamp duty. I mean, when you sell, you pay capital tax. When you are selling to the transferring to your children, you pay inheritance tax. So when you are living in there, you pay council tax. So
Yeah.
so not
That's the service charge.
you pay the tax, but you pay council tax. So it's not tax. So, but because I made a mistake of not having a good understanding of the tax system that is applicable to me in my choice of tools that I want to use to create wealth, which is real estate. When they brought the bill, I was like, oh my goodness. Oh my word. Oh my God. So please, those are my mistakes. But if I want to go ahead, we want to do it. So part of the mistake I've made, I've structured my journey, I've put my journey together with you to understand the aspect I want to buttress on now. Good in terms of UAE, just want to buttress upon. I have never known anybody that invested in real estate that go wrong. The reason being that, sir, you asked a question that time. When you had the question, what came to my mind is Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verse 4. Let me check my phone. That word was coming to me. What was coming to me? That because I have been in that situation whereby I look at the negative things, what people are saying, or what they are doing, or what they are saying, what the news is talking about. But people that are in there, they are eating the fruit. But we are following the noise, and it says, if you wait until the day, the perfect time, you will not sow. And guess what? I love that person. it did not stop at you will not sow. If you are looking at the perfect weather, you will not sow. If you are looking at perfect situation, you will not invest. If you are looking for when things are good, you will not invest. You now ended with that you will not sow and you will not harvest. So the beauty, do you know why they go to countries after all these countries to fight war? No, because when there is trouble, when there is chaos, when that is where opportunity lies, they'll come back and help you build that your country with their contractors. So they will pay in dollars to develop your country. So when I hear things are not, I'm going there.
Yeah, the ladder.
We're doing anything right now. So at the end of the day, so we're thinking of also going to Detroit, from Texas, we'll go on to Detroit. Then Dr. Limida have been talking about Uganda. Okay, Uganda. And then he mentioned Ghana. I said, oh, how can this man, you want to keep us? They said, no, I've got we bought commercial. We were doing commercial in Ghana. When she mentioned commercial now, I'm going to say the commercial thing now. So I want you to understand the fact that mistakes are part of the journey. It's part of it. But we need to leverage on it and use it positively. The experience that you have learned, the lesson you've learned, should be something that will help you to go forward. So we are based in Ajman, where it's developing now. A lot of people are there coming in now. Now because of the war, everybody is moving from Dubai. They're moving to Sharjah, they're moving to Ajman, and some are staying in Dubai. And some of the property you saw that some are using them for Airbnb, because some of them will make their money within a month. For the money they should make within a year in Dubai, they would have made it within a month.
So the empty doesn't mean it's not profit.
No, don't forget, we have cash flow and we have equity.
Yes.
When it comes to real estate. So that is it. So as the place is empty, the value is increasing. And now, when people flood back to Dubai, when they open the work ended, if you don't key in now, because most of them are trying to sold their property, give some, hey, you're fighting into Dodge. Oh my God, it's just going to go. I want to sell the boxes. I'm not going to sell the room like a But if you are like me, that have little, we do instrumental payment as well. We do the debt shares, explain everything. Everything in the safest way. There is a land, their land, the municipal, they deal with all this stuff. Your document is not coming from us, it's coming from the government. So everything is legit. And even we have even one of our staff that took us to the government. Yeah, we sell to staff, to clients. He took money. Because my partner from Jordan. He went to Jordan. So his dad died. So he couldn't went to that. Before he comes back, the deputy that is there and the manager actually tried to play smart. So he took some money from clients and did not remit. And also his commission, they paid to him, he denied that the commission wasn't paid. But thank God that the guy that I'm working with is so meticulous that he has everything properly documented. So they took it to court, tribunal, the sort of tribunal, and guess what? Everything was laid out, and they said, sorry, everything you write in English, you have to transfer it to Arab. So we have to begin to convert to Arab so that the judge can read that. And before you know it, we got out of it because it is wealth system. Yeah. So if you are thinking of global, you're thinking globally. It's a very good place for you to invest and your money is safe. Nobody will take a dime from you and and not
Fulfill.
the policies. So even we have different developers that we work with, and we are also trying as much as possible to build our own as well, so that we can also give people the opportunity. And we are not that we are there, our office is there. So you can see us, you can see our door, you can see our office, you can see staff working in and out. And so it's something that if you want to tune in, we can also support you in actualizing your growth mentality. On that note, I want to say, please, this is how far I am going. So when you see me in Detroit and Pepper and then Nigeria, we are together, we've always been together. Thank you so much. Sorry, can I just ask you? Okay.
Your man in, yeah, you only met him once.
What went into business.
This is the man I can
Thank you very much. So that's a very
trust and I can do business with.
You see, when I mentioned God factor, it goes a long way. Number one, when you know your God, you can do exploits.
Yes.
So when he came, he invited us into the office, and we're talking about the see the let's go to the other property here, you can get residency, you can get all right. And I said to myself, I don't mind residency. So he has the boss, he has the manager. So the manager came overheard what we're discussing, and that said to us that he can help us get residency, that they do it $10,000. And the guy had us, because he was there as well. So you can help me, we will da 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 da. And I said to her, let's go and meet the manager. He called us back and said to us, change things. Brother, you know me? And what I'll tell you, don't do investment. We can buy property. You use one stone to put two beds. You'll still give you business. We will do residency for you. Saying, and you know, residency. Residency. It's not like someone telling you that
You can, yeah.
I'm looking for us. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, continue. You on Zoom? Continue.
I'm
Yeah.
looking for us.
You on Zoom?
We have our bank account, American bank account.
Echoing.
With the cards with us. I just said, you know what? This is the card. We are going on with the business. No. You cannot take it. We are going to gold salt. Gold salt or gold salt in their market. Gold salt. That is where we are going to pay them the $10,000 so that they can process it. So I see we are buying gold. So I now the money. We went down to Dora market, go so and pay $10,000 instantly. Wow. Don't have to come out. President go, hey, my brother, they're doing this, don't worry.
That question was very good, but that question is revealing a mistake. And you did not mention.
So, yes, because I told you I want to figure out my mistake. So I became to, and when we went back to the office, we saw we saw the same guy that we've been talking with, trying to encourage us to invest in real estate. And I'm not comfortable. I'm just saying like this, what is wrong, brother? I said, you know that you told them, but I told you not to do it. I told you not to do it. You know what? I'm going to give you a number, you call that number, and you have to exercise strength. Because if not, when is your flight? You are going back, then nothing will happen. Because it's a process. You are going to go to this, you are going to go to that, complete the form, they're going to do medical, they're going to do a lot of things for you. So if you are not all that, you can't be ready. So your money may not be refunded. Wow. So we did everything. I called her, I messaged him, then you're da. I will take you to police. I'll call the police. He called me back and said, you know what, you can do 1 year for you. And you're going to go to Dubai and do da market. So we went through hell. In a nutshell, $10,000 went down the drain for nothing. And I did not do anything. But now,
One year resident.
don't want your listening.
Did you get
So,
that?
sorry?
Did you get 1 year resident?
I don't want anybody to upload. But now, that I have my company there, they are renewing it for me every time. So my business pays for my resident, they just renew it for me because I have the base, I have everything. So at any point in time, they just renew for. Hello, brother. Now they just told me now, the same message that my driver license has expired. Brother, my license, driver license. I said, no, brother, hold on, let me come back. So that is the way it works. So it's a system. And to answer your question, sir,
You pay school fees.
I pay school fees and I allowed my instinct and God feeling to go and do. If you have saved me £10,000, if you have $10,000, you should be able to save me more things in future. So that was what I did.
Thank you.
I don't think anybody have any other question.
Well, I think it's not, for me, it's not a question, but it's just what I have picked up so far from everyone I've spoken today. Like when Stoker said, God should be open. And that took me back to when I was telling someone about how my wife knows everything that I do as a person. There's nothing secret about me as an individual that she doesn't know. And he was like, no, you don't do that. Okay, we don't know. I said, how do you make the first thing out? You made it keep up.
I don't know the one.
Apart from just doing, life activities that we're doing, of course, one is not careful, just to vanity. Yeah. But the ability of the other person to continue when you stop matters quite a lot. When I got the I got 2 lamps from her. The moment she sent the document, I put it in an email and I put it there, landed document, and it's saved in that email. I called my Mrs. Abed, please. Then what is that? I said, can you see this in my email? At least you all know, where my password, the password of my email is. So, but this is where the land document is. There is nothing hidden. And this is what I tend to notice about we African family. Some of us, we don't, it's not just about we not talking to outsiders. We don't even talk to our partners. We don't talk to our wives. Our wives don't even know what we are.
We don't talk to insider.
I learned this from my friend who passed on 4 years ago now in the UK. With the moment he passed on, his wife knows everything. And I said, but me and this guy, there are certain things that we are like childhood friends. There are certain things I thought, okay, maybe this one is way too heavy. His wife didn't know it. But his wife got to know everything. Then I said to myself, I said, what am I doing? And I began to put down everything. Then I have a documented this is where I said, come and look at this. Anything happen, this is where to look at. Even not to password. Right? So majority of the time, it's just this is my own contribution, but therefore some of our men here who might not be doing the same. How the person we live with must first of all get to know who we are. I think somebody talked about someone came up with debt that was leading to divorce. Because some people don't know who they are dealing with, and this is a very, very big.
But that's the thing he said, the culture back home. It is the culture, not the people living here.
I think it just
The culture. The tell your father.
the same culture is where I'm coming from. I think it boils down to individual. Anything one have, you can learn. You can unlearn whatever you have learned, or unlearn something new. Just like when he was talking just now, I noticed that there's a point he said only in that land when they went to buy check that place. He did mention that he went there with, like, I don't fully whether they are together. He doesn't have to say that. But some people wouldn't understand that. He would go there and come back. Tomorrow, if God forbid, if anything happens,
Nobody
woman
knows that
is just lost. So this is what I tend to see. And again, you said something about we Africans, we should try and come together. You know, like what you said about Pakistani, what they are doing is very true. I remember 15 years ago, someone came to, by my house there in Liverpool. He used to sell in a shop. I used to go there, I was teaching him English. Oh, when a customer comes to the shop, this is what you say. This is what you say. This is what you say. Then I was just living in a rented apartment close to that shop. So few years down the line, the church said they need an accommodation. And I said, oh, but this place has been vacant for such a long time. Let me go and move. Let me go and find out who owns that place. And they said, yeah, go to that shop. There's a big shop at the corner. I'll go there. And I love is this tested man that
you were teaching English.
yeah, is this man that owns the place. And I said, so you own that? Who is the landlord? The landlord of that building? I didn't own it. I thought maybe he's still managing that. He said, no, I own the place. And that in this environment, I have 10 houses there. I said, how I said, no, we need to. Yeah, I told them myself, we need to sit down, let's talk. How did we talk about it? Because I remember the day you came in. He told me specifically, he said, this thing that we do in Nigeria called a job. He said about 1,000 Pakistanis can decide to do a job. 1,000. So every month they donate what they call about £250. And that £250 was the salary the guy was giving to him. He said he was contributing that, so when the money gets given to anybody within the 1,000 group of people, they will sit down and say, brother, what do you want to do with it? He said, I want to buy 10 houses. Then that one, they will say, among us here, there are contractors. Please, you document it, go and work with them, make sure you get those 10 houses. He said, this is how they do it.
Accountability, and they don't speak English.
Yes, I said, yeah. And we don't see that. I was told of a story here in London.
Nigerians.
Oh, yeah.
London, 25,000. 25.
They are doing now.
So,
But it's still smaller. It's common amongst women.
yes.
But it's still a smaller group.
It's still a smaller group. We're not talking 1,000.
Max 10.
Still your job.
Yes. So it's really what is best. Yes.
That level.
1,000 and the rest. I mean, no, plastic.
The money.
And they also within themselves, they're yes, they're using their services. Their business.
The money is going around.
Absolutely. So that's beyond the giving a job. There's so many jobs.
Jewish thing.
Yes.
There's a book called The Jewish Phenomenon.
Yeah.
If you go and read that book,
They lock everything in. Yes.
it is said that up to 99% of Jewish wealth revolves around it.
Yeah.
They said the only reason a Jewish man is business or anything out of that set is that there is no single Jew.
Yeah, and that's how the agents do it, because even in the workplace, the corporate places, you get on the program, you see one Asian person at the beginning of the program. Before that program gets into 12 months, you will see 5, 6, 7 of them.
And they do it
Walmart.
And they do it here, they do it in Canada.
Yeah.
They do it
Hey,
Can I just say, if you look at a shop like Superdrug,
when Superdrug started many years ago, 15 years ago, you will see Caucasians working there.
Yes.
Walk into a Superdrug now in your local environment, it's all Asians.
Yeah. Superdrug corps.
The moment they get into management,
They bring in management. Let them just be somewhere.
Yeah.
They bring everyone they know.
yeah.
Like you said, we don't speak out quite enough. That's
We
why.
don't trust ourselves. That's the
And
problem.
besides, we always have this, and this negative mindset that, oh, if I bring this back, I don't know what's going to happen to me.
Trust
You know, and this,
So there are times that we've done that and we've done.
experience is vividly in your mind. So I used to work in it. Well, before I came into this country years ago, I used to work in Nigeria. We have this attitude of it doesn't matter. And everything does matter when it comes to dealing with anything, even not to feeding a child. You know, this idea of because I used to attend meetings with my MD then at the COI. We all sat in the table. You said, Mother, please, can I suggest something? Say, yes, please speak up. You said, Mother, if we do this, we'll be able to get more money to do this, to do. No. What I said, you know, it doesn't matter. So let's do this one. Then at the time I said to her, Ma, please, if it doesn't matter, whatever we want to do, don't call me for any meeting. Because it's as we are just here, we can't contribute. And that was what led to my resignation because I didn't see myself making any impact in our business.
So I'd like to chip in something, and I want all of us to have a good understanding. Please. You see, a lot of things have gone south in terms of the system created for us. Somebody that is a child that is born there has the right to ask you a question. Because the systems allows them. What the way we are being brought up fundamentally, the front is wrong because of what they passed wrong. Hold on 1 second, sir. Just 1 second, please. We believe that when our boss says something, we can't respond, we can't even ask questions. That's the system. Yeah. They develop their children upon children, and to see what we're seeing now, years to ask questions. The Jews that must work together. The ancients. I remember when my landlord, when I ran different companies, different businesses in this country, I was running a restaurant there. So they wanted to sell the building, and I'm ready to buy the building. The restaurant building, commercial. He said to me, oh, Peter, people like you drive big cars, you wear good clothes, me, no money, I carry to Pakistan. We build houses in Pakistan. So that's what they
Their community mind.
Strength and lot of things have gone on. So we are not today. We're talking about things that have gone so wrong. How can we correct this because generations that are coming out, it's a different ball game. Seriously.
I was trying to channel the conversation that they were saying, which I felt like it's easy for us to talk about mistakes to have made, but we must talk about how we are corrected. And conversations like this are important. And we all have an assignment to tell our children. Your children should not hate Nigerians. Don't sow that seed. Many of our children see going to Nigeria as punishment, talking to other Nigerians as suspicion. Because we have already sowed the seed that other Nigerians are. No, we don't go there. Why? Because it's a Nigerian. What have you done? You have made your child to distrust someone that looks like them. When the Asians are raising their children to only trust those that look like them.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
We need to start correcting.
Exactly. Now the solution is from all of us. Yeah, okay. We're here today. A deal comes out. I want us to all rally around and do the deal. Everybody contributes to £2,000. I know. Don't let me say. Some of you say, hey.
Even among the teams of Dr. Lubidi, we bought coalition seats. She is the one that took all of us to the place. So people went behind his back to go and talk to the family so that they can get it cheaper or directly. So, and Philip called me and said that, oh, I have a direct contact with the family. I said, I don't want direct contact with the family. I did not know about this area. Whatever he is going to get. And he is even very transparent. He will tell you, this is my commission. You pay me my finder's fee. And you pay this to the family. So I said, I don't mind paying him. His finder's fee. If the one that found the deal.
So that's the way it is.
We must be willing, all this our sharpness.
So that's
We
why
have not done anything.
to have that mindset. That's why it's important to have people with similar mindset around
Yes, but correct it by educating. But I'm saying it now, for people listening here might not have that mindset. They might think I want to get the best deal. It's not criminal, it's sharpness. I can get the better deal. I can get the Nigerian sharp smartness. So what I want us to know is not trying to, I want to get cutting corners into our system, but we must decide that we're working together. We're working together. And once I can see like minds, we will work together. And in the like mind journey, I might find myself in a community that I lost some money, but it doesn't mean that I will not join another community. Because they say if you drive a car and the car has accident and somebody dies, the dead body will use the car to carry it. So you don't say I'm not entering the car anymore because there was an accident in the car. We must be willing to keep going into. Have I gone into partnership that did not work? 100%. But have I gotten into ones that work? 100%. But so I don't believe I've done a job that somebody pulled out. Like 1 month, the person pulled out, and I've done a job that we concluded it. So it's a case of you deciding, and I'm a believer that a job does not make sense anymore right now because I'll put the money into my mutual funds and everything. But I have people around me that still need their job and they leverage to launch what they want to do. And so I'm doing it with the community, not because I don't know better, but because I want to support the community, because that's what communities do. We lift each other up. And so we must intentionally be looking out for one another. We are here right now. Exchange numbers with people you meet here. You might not be able to see us like this again, ever. We might see individually, but having this group like this, not going to happen. It's not. It's like somebody will say that, you for this, for us to repeat this, I have to wear the same dress, I have to wear the same shirt, I have to look exactly. It's not going to happen. So this is a moment that we can capture this energy and use it to change our mindset on how we see unity amongst Nigerians. I've been very blessed.
So I just want to add this to what we do now. How do we see failures? How do we value failures? What value do we place on mistakes? As you know, what do we do with our failures? What do we do with our mistakes? And that's why I want to understand the principle of failing forward. Yes, we are not human. As we are right now, I will mess up. I will. But what are we going to do when I mess up? What are we going to do with the failure, with the mistake that we made? So if we do not have the mindset that turn around and look at the positive side of failure, we will learn from it, keep what you need to be, and move. We just continue to run around in circle and everything like that. And the generation, and that's why I want us to, like Dr. Rani said, with an assignment to start sowing a seed into our children. Let me just give this joke. My daughter and my mom were having an issue, and they were arguing, and she was talking, the mother was talking. She was talking, the mother was talking. Then the mother was like, actually, she shut up, I'm talking, you're still talking. And I slipped out to her, and she kept quiet. And the mom went upstairs. The next thing my daughter did, okay, I was only having a conversation. She upstairs before I said, it's asking me, and I'm talking. When you ask me, what does that mean? That I told her, I went out. So she was asking questions. I was saying, so the generation we are bringing up, they need to understand some of the things that we do not have opportunity to ask questions from our parents. they need to understand why, the reason for doing it, the reason for doing that. So that is the only way that when the time comes, years to come, these children are having this kind of conversation, they will have something to fall back on and say, yes.
You're going to say something, sir.
I think this is an opportunity that must have been waiting for a lot of people. And I'm glad we are having this conversation. One thing I've observed in my years of travail, in everything, is that we are so laid back. We are very, very laid back. So many times I beat myself up when I get here, there. I don't see my people. It gets so draining. And a lot of these opportunities that we're talking about stems out of our association. Yeah. I'm probably beating myself now that I didn't well more my association with Dr. Louis Emmanuel. Many years ago, when I called our Pat Cross, when it was just. However, there have been so well, my church members know that we are a community people. We are everywhere. Health, police, things that were there. But the sad part of it is that we that have this wealth of knowledge are not getting involved. I mean, for reference, you can check me on Reverend James on LinkedIn. I'm not going to say more than that. So you can. So those are opportunities. There are ways I've been having leverage. I've been having collaboration. I'm a member of Charter Club House. I've been so many things. But it's sad that our people are not well positioned in all of these things. In fact, up to your being a school governor. Because I remember many years ago, my children were still growing up. I was the school governor. And from that school governor, I became the vice chair. The vice chair, I'm not a trustee. And we have properties that we are managing. Just starting so if there are opportunities to do come up, and I give it out, I tell people, but this wealth of knowledge. In fact, I was even going to tell Sharon, to tell Dr. to come to church tomorrow. To come to this church tomorrow, because I didn't even realize to put it on Zoom. I've only just sent it. So that people, you see, there are a lot of opportunities. There are people, that are things that are there, that are waiting to be explored. Exactly. And it's not just one cap. Although I wrote a book, one cap that fits all. Not all one cap fits all, but there is one cap that fits all. Instruction. That's one cap. If you can obey instruction, follow instruction. It's a cap that fits all. Everything is instruction. Yeah. So it's an opportunity that people have that can spread. We talk about these Asian people and so on. I mean, we live around them. We can tell they are here. They are here. In fact, we tell you they are buying this place to convert to mosque. That means yes. And they would have put it a long time ago. Yeah. By the grace of God of who I am in the community. That's why they have not bought it. But they're going to buy it eventually. I know that. Because otherwise, I live in the community and I want them to progress too. So it's a lot of opportunity.
So there. Why can't we buy it? Why are you agreeing that job and doing also?
Well, the reason because they gave me a call. They've been occupying the downstairs as their mosque, even before we came. And because they came from, and I was the vice chair of the people that owns the whole property. Anyway, it's a national association that owns several. So I know the things that are there. I know the in and out. But one thing I'm sure in all is we're not going to be left homeless.
Yeah.
I know that. That's why I'm agreeing. And we're not going to be left homeless. But I know if we say they are not buying it, they are not going to buy it. After all,
Those who are aggressive.
those that are above are above all.
Yeah, only aggressive, they're getting the first.
But however, this place is too small for us. Anyway, it's too small for us. We don't have enough space to do everything else that we do. But the truth of the matter, what I'm trying to drive home is for every one of us to get involved. Let's get involved because that getting involved brings us more information. And when we get that information, then we will be able to appraise ourselves of opportunities that are out there.
Yeah.
It is only then that we are able to, when I was tweeting, posting, and so that many people will come, I was saying, I posted, that's the truth. And one of my, because I use buzzword, one of the buzzwords I used was, money is a game. Only those that have an A star wins. And you can't have the A star if you don't have the knowledge. If you don't have the background to things, there is no way to progress. I wish I wish I learned all of these things that I'm learning now.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not that backward. But I wish, but I wish I knew all of these things even more. And that is what I push in the church. My members here who attest to that. I push people. I make sure that where opportunities are, you go and get it. There is no limit. There is no limit to what you can attain. There is no restriction. In fact, there is no mountain you cannot climb. And if you cannot climb it, God has provided. Say go around it. Go around. If you can't climb, go around. So what I'm trying to inspire everyone here to start. When my inroad into housing was the window of the flat of my children was falling over, and I wasn't going to have it. So I started making noise. So I made that noise so loudly that it caught the attention of the owner, and then they invited me to the office. Guess what? The next thing, the chief executive, the director of this, the director of that came into my flat and said, "Oh, there's a place where people like yourself are talking about it." And I went it was an estate board. My first day, the second day, I was made the chair. Because people said, this is what we want to hear. But if I had not been there,
Opportunity would not.
if I have not been there, I wouldn't have had.
Yeah.
And then that way, opportunities, come. I hear so many things that people can benefit from. And that is why it's very important that we get involved. The only reasons why these Pakistani and Asians that you are mentioning are making is because they are involved. Every board, every meeting, everywhere, you find them there. And when I go there, it's only myself and I. Just myself and I. That's
Can't you see what our daughter is doing? Doctor, go and be.
I have a shop. I have a Nigerian bishop that's a counselor. What stops you from being a counselor? Nothing stops you from being a counselor. Nothing stops you from getting into the integrity of your right and complaint. Nothing stops us. So it's an opportunity because that way we'll be able to be hearing from the inside. And then from the inside, we can. How many people can I go to? Well, they reach me. I do it in my church anyway. If I hear anything, they will be the first to hear. But many of us there helps us. It will help us. It will help our community. It will help us because that's when we can build trust. The only reasons why we are not collaborating is because we don't trust each other. We don't trust each other.
We don't trust who we don't know.
Yes. Yeah, but the time we start mingling and trusting each other, we'll be able to collaborate with the Lord and support. I hope I'm not taking too much. See, they're now. They're already. They're reading money. It's money.
They are very aggressive.
They are rich money to buy.
Let's ask something quickly.
Tell our people to come and say,
Thank you, sir, for talking about getting involved, and because honestly, in this country, there's a lot of opportunities, but because we are not involved, we don't know. I run a charitable organization, and I've been doing it for 6 years. It's only last year that I found out that, do you know that free money, grants, as long as you're doing the work and you're doing it in the community, there is money. I'm not talking about small money. I went to like a symposium and people were talking about how much they are getting. I was the only black man in the room. 150,000. I'm like, really, in this country for doing social work? I've turned my charity now to a social enterprise. Oh yes, because honestly, there's a lot of money to help you to do these things, but we don't know because we're not involved and we don't want to be involved. We just have our mind thinking. And we've talked about properties today and shares and do all of that. They're all amazing things to do, but there are many other opportunities that we need to open our minds. And it's about the mindset that we were talking about. Open our minds to be able to conceive, to see opportunities in places and just go for it. And mix with people who are doing it, get involved with people.
Takes to be in the right room.
Absolutely.
Let me bring in Organic. I know that I want us to have a consciousness. We don't want to be here with lots of inspiring ideas. We need to have action plan. And everybody here, you must write 5 things you are going to do after this event. And you're going to share some of them in the room. 5 things you want to do. I am in this room, I'm going to do 5 things. You start writing it down. What am I changing? What am I improving? What am I stopping? What am I starting? What rooms am I entering in? You must make decisions based on what new investment am I doing? As we were talking, my own husband has sent me WhatsApp message on Dubai residency market that before the end of this year, we should complete the process to get Dubai residency. It's decision. Because he's aware of these things, but we now have decided. What decision are you making based on the information you are getting in this room? You can't leave this room with just ideas and inspiration. You don't transform your life based on being inspired. You transform based on action. I've written a book about it, and the book is loaded. If you register VIP, you are entitled to the book. So,
So, I've paid already.
yes, well, we discussed that one. We are family. We are family. So, Olamide, a round of applause for Olamide. And my soul sister, I would say my soul sister. Yeah, she was the answer to prayer point. You know when this individualistic thing we're talking about? I'm an only child, and I was brought up lonely. So I was very individual. I was like okay by myself. There was just a point in my life when I felt I need community, I need sisters. And I put it in my vision board and I prayed and I made that. You want to sit down as well?
No, I like to stand actually, but I'm very, very tired. I go back from I just got back from home around 1 a.m. last year. But again, I slept well. So I mean there's something I want to say that I've not been said. And my name is Olamide Wakala, and I am a farmer. That's what I do in Nigeria. And it's just I would like to introduce myself and just talk about farmer. Yeah, but I'm involved in several other things. I'm into real estate, I'm into Airbnb. Sure, I have empty properties even in Nigeria, that I innovate from time to time. And sometimes the price of the value of the property 2 years ago is not the same value today, because even though it's empty sometimes, it increases in equity. So, I mean, what is wrong for us to do is not to invest our money. And I believe in the principles of scattered seeds. Scatter your seeds. Some will go bad. Definitely. And when those ones that go bad, just sit up and focus on the ones that are doing well. So we've said so many things today in this room, and I don't think there's anything new that I want to add, other than the fact that there are things that are stopping us from achieving the goals that we want to achieve as Nigerians, most especially because of the mindsets that Dr. talked about. And the mindset is, this thing is not for us. Hmm. Right. It is not for us. And it is for us. And I lived in America, to give context, I lived in America for about 3 years. And there was one message I listened to by TP Jakes. And TP Jakes said, if he goes to a new country, when he enters into a new country, that he tries as much as possible not to try and rally around, oh, I'm looking for Americans only. He said, look, I have American friends when I get into a new country, that's fine. We talk, we gather, we have a community. But I intentionally walk into rooms where people who are not Americans are, and where they are discussing things that have to do with growth, things that have to do with money, things that have to do with business, things that have to do with the next level. And I looked at them and said, because they told him, he said, there's one American church here, you need to visit that church. And I said, no, I'm not going to an American church. I'm going to go to an European church. I want to see what they do here. I want to see how they do things. And that got me thinking. So when I got to America, I decided that I wasn't going to go to a Nigerian church. Because I did not want to sink. I'm not saying a Nigerian church is bad, like not right now, but I didn't want to sink in a Nigerian church where we're just all of us have the same ideas, the same programming, the same mentality. Talking about Simon Teo song. I would drive all the way from Queens to New York, every Sunday. And then I joined the fellowship. And then I was the only Black in that fellowship. And I was listening to things that were so different from what I'd grown up with. You know, all these stuff you're talking about, you talk about it in fellowship. Now, talking about implementation that Topper talked about, because even yet today, and listening to all that you're listening to, and you don't implement it, is the problem. Now, living here today and trying to implement all by yourself is what the problem lies. When you live here today, set up a fellowship. And when I say fellowship, it's not the fellowship that you go, no. A fellowship where there's intentionality, where all of you want to grow together. So these are the things that I have learned. Maybe you bring those things that you have learned, bring it to 4 cardinal points. I say this is the things that we're going to achieve as a community. Maybe 10 people, have a mastermind. I mean, because we're Nigerians, I'm calling it fellowship, you know? Community. Yeah, your own small, very small community, going forward. Everything you have learned today, go and teach it. Be intentional, get a WhatsApp group of 10 to 20 people and bring them in and say, we are doing this together. If they can't come to your house, if your house is too far, create a Zoom. If you want to come and speak to them in that Zoom, to share the ideas, if you cannot share it originally, if you want to come and share it for you, or somebody else in this room, or even Mr. Peter here, to come and help you share it with them, let them share, and then you guys can take it from there. Because without implementing, we're doing ourselves a disservice. So I was in this community, I was in this church, and Topper visited me in America several times. She went to church with me in Hillsong, and she saw that it was different, you know? And you said what?
It was a vibe.
It was a vibe. Yes, it was. So there was this particular Sunday, I couldn't go to church. I couldn't drive all the way to New York. So I said to myself, let me just visit the Nigerian church, you know, in the area. So I Googled, and I saw a Redeemed church, and I went to that church. We got there early, and we were doing Sunday school service. During the Sunday school service, we were talking about holiness and righteousness. I mean, we're the righteousness of God in Christ Jesus. We cannot be completely perfect, but we're trying our best to live a righteous life. But then during the question and answer, the Sunday school, a man stood up and asked a question. I've been in America for, I think we said 14 or 15 years. I'm living a holy life. I'm living a righteous life. Yet I am suffering. I don't have this. I'm poor. How will my life change? And then I looked at him. Because a lot of people say that the Bible is so complete. It says the letter kills, but the spirit gives life. Everything that we have talked about in this room today is in the Bible. We talked about collaboration, community. What shall chase 1,000? So two will chase how many? Some place of 3, some place of 4, some place of 5. With like minds, how many would they chase? So everything we talked about here are principles from the Bible. You said you have failed. I said a righteous man will fall many times. And he will rise up again and continue everything. And I just looked at it. This is my first time in the church. But I was so I just looked, I said, sir, I said, please, then I told the pastor, I said, please let me answer this one. I said, first and foremost, have you not seen Arabs that are still rich? Have you not seen terrible people? Not that they don't even see terrible people, people that are not of the Christian faith, that are terribly rich. And it has nothing to do with their holiness or their righteousness. It's just like principles. Do you know how many people Daniel served in his lifetime? Were they all Christians? Were they all believers? But Daniel served them with excellence. I feel like you live in a life of excellence. Are you the best at what you do? What kind of value are you offering? Because money responds to value. So what value are you offering here in America? Even if you came here into this country, I've heard stories of people that come into a country and start off as cleaners, but they are no longer cleaners. They came into a country, they start off as carers, and they end up becoming the manager of that caring company, setting up their own caring company, setting up, there's a man in New York that owns a school that trains carers. His lecturers are white people. And he came into that country as a carer. So it's left to you to say, I don't want to remain where I am. What services are you offering? So are you expecting, because the problem we have so many problems about what we have in Nigeria. And one of it is the miracle mindset. I was telling Dr. was telling me this month, oh, I many people registered. I was asking, she was like, I said, Dr. Last week was NL. There's probably something going on right now somewhere in London where there are over 1 million people gathered. The miracle mindset is killing our country. I'm a Christian and I read the Bible and I read it for understanding and application. I don't believe, because out of the 100,000 people that have gone for that program, maybe it is only 1,000, maybe it's only 200 people that understand what they've gone to do there. The others do not really understand. They've just gone there, I want a miracle, I want a miracle, I want a miracle. I'll give an example of a woman who listened to a message in church and said, Japa does not necessarily mean that you're going to go and suffer. She tapped into it. Now, don't forget, she's working. She's offering value. Did she apply out of the abyss? She had a CV. She had a track record. If you don't have a track record, nobody will employ you from an expatriate. So she was prepared for that role. Now, I wrote a book, it's called The Rich Christian. Most of these principles I'm talking about here is that guy pushed me to write that book, The Rich Christian. So when I say preparedness, we're talking about the parable of the 10 virgins that went with lamps. Not enough oil. Exactly. And the other ones were keeping theirs. And the other ones weren't keeping theirs. They were prepared. There's so many things that we Nigerians just take for granted because we believe that God, the ultimate God, just come from heaven, come down and do it for us. And do it for us. But it doesn't work that way. It doesn't. We have to have 3 people in this room coming to learn, coming to listen of how they can build something together as a community. But instead, they go to NLP, they don't necessarily need a miracle, they just need a miracle of that wicked boss in the office. That is, what if you are not productive? And you are praying against a boss that wants excellence at his work.
There is a prayer meeting going on in Liverpool.
We go out to all of these things. We don't change our cultural background. We don't change our wrong mindset. We don't. And then we don't question the status quo. You're about to say this about that, and for one go, but for one go. Let your light shine, let the whole world see. Is it possible that that what they look like someone that wants to cover his hand? I don't understand. Is it that you cover it?
His name is everywhere.
You understand? So you can't be. You see, visibility is an offshoot of success. So whether you're about people say when your yam sprouts, you cover it with your hands. Don't let people see it. That is why we are running an individualistic system. And one way or the other, every single family has something that they're guilty of. Yeah. You go to that, even your blood ancestors, Don't say this, don't talk about this, your school that you're going to. Don't, and then this mindset that we have sometimes is what affects us from building something that is tangible. Because if you are using your hand to cover that small yam, it can never be more than that.
See, Ogenala openly talking about selling the stake in Gary to bank a 100 million into that. That is collaboration. That is, it's not supporting each other. It's wise investment strategy that we should be doing.
So we should embody these principles. We should teach it because I believe that all of us are in this room now know most of these principles. But the problem now is, are we going to teach it to other people?
Yeah.
Are you going to sit down in a room? Some of you today never knew what SARS was. Now you know. If I am you, I will go my straight. I will go my straight and say, Ma, please, this sort of a thing, I need to understand you more. Please, can I bring you to a Zoom? Can you come and teach my community this sort of a thing? Let them understand. You understand what I'm saying? I'm supposed to be.
Also, people put it inside ChatGPT.
Exactly.
Or Claude.
No. Somebody asked a question. What did I do?
Just went to ChatGPT to.
And I showed you the analysis.
Between UK and Dubai real estate.
It's so good that you can even tell ChatGPT or Claude what to be to you. So be my mentor, be my instructor, and he will give you exactly.
If you are not using AI, thoroughly, you are sleeping on something very powerful. And I'm just chipping it in because I don't want to. I already said we're going to stay within time. I don't want to go beyond. I'm not doing my official presentation because what I did with the book was more than my official presentation, and I believe that all our speakers have dropped a lot of value. What I would like to just chime in, which is what she's been saying, which I learned. I thought I was doing AI, but when I saw what the lady was doing AI, and then I dug deep. And I'm still discovering everything that we're talking about.
Sorry, what is she doing with AI?
There was the conversation we're having, and she was like, read this chart. And what's the chart? Summary of a book on investments. So I don't need to read the entire book.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I can just have the summary of the book on investment and apply it, the highlights of what I'm doing.
Now you apply it to your own life.
And I can personalize it. So I've done some things with AI, like, okay, I want to analyze my so I'll upload my social media link. Okay, and I'll analyze my social media link. And what do you think the missing links in what I'm doing? There's even yes, even as regards to general conversation. I came into the UK and I told my AI agents, I used between Claude and ChatGPT, like, okay, I'm staying in Central. I want to stay in Central London. I want to give me a list of hotels that are close to major attraction. Give me 5. Then I asked my husband's friend, give me 5 hotels that are close to, and I want 5-star hotel close to Central, where everything is happening, walking distance. There was one hotel he recommended that clashed with the one ChatGPT recommended. I was like, okay, I'm going with this one. Everything was within walking distance. And I said, okay, my birthday is, I don't know what is my birthday, but I want to have a memorable time. Curate what I can do. Step by step, places to go to, pictures to take, play music as you enter into the London Eye. Memorable.
Let me share this story. Let me tell you another way I use AI. So you see all this. I don't know if you guys use investment app in the UK. Yes, I went to 22. So I went to when it comes to stocks, after all is said and done, you have to do what works for you. I don't buy individual stocks. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to be analyzing whether Intel is doing fine or not doing fine. Because I don't even buy Nigerian stocks. Let me just put it that way. I don't know, some of them are good. I'm not saying they're not good. Okay, she just I've been burned. You understand? So I think I still have that trauma. Because I didn't buy Nigerian stocks, I thought they may be doing good for now, but it comes to a point where I'm not when I put money somewhere, I want to carry my eye. I don't want to be looking at it every day if it's not doing good. So I don't bother. So I just like it here. I like you injection. I buy American index fund. So what did I do? Somebody said, look, just buy just negligible fund. That's okay. Can be negligible with 1 million naira. Let me put it in many trades. So I downloaded the app, registered, put in the 1 million, and then I did a screenshot of all the ETFs they have, what they have, the individual stocks they have, blah, blah, and I just put on ChatGPT and I put through a deep search, analyze the stocks. What has been performing well in the last 2-3 years? Let me know. Do an analysis with my other investors. He has my trying to know anything about me, everything about my life inside, so that when I tell you something today, it refers to what I said yesterday. Just do it. Like, based on this, don't do this. Based on this, do that. You understand? So I did all of that, and by the time it broke down for me how I should invest the 1 million there. It's exactly what I did. Because I put the same thing in Claude, and Claude gave me the same. Put this in stamping, in Claude, yeah.
That one is.
Oh, I'm talking.
Yeah. The product is still there.
Like ChatGPT being open here.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Stop it.
To use ChatGPT, you have to be somebody who is very.
ChatGPT is even soft. Claude. Claude is a machine.
For them.
I tend to use
If you want the best, if you want the best out of it, pay, because sometimes they're even cheaper than your personal assistant in the office. We went to Kenya, and we were so excited about Kenyan place. I even told them this one, get to buy a 2-bedroom. We checked the house, we got the offer, and then we cross-checked it with Dubai. Dubai did better. We cross-checked it with Rwanda. It was doing better than Rwanda, actually. We cross-checked with Nigerian real estate, and it was like, don't buy any house in Nigeria. And I'm telling you, if you can run analysis like that. Run analysis for where you want to do your vacation, best time to do. And I said everything about your life is amplified by research by AI tool. So please, it's one of the things you can go and study, even in your personal businesses. Yeah, even your health. My mom had a problem with her health. She kept having this ringing, and and I just, what exactly is going on? So let us ask that. She said, "Please download on my phone." It's okay. And I told her, you said not okay, I'm coming to that. I smoked all of my mom's medication. What she said she's using as supplements and whatever that is not something that is not harmful. I think you tell me contradicting. So many medications that are contradicting each other. Yeah.
My blood cells, I will put it in ChatGPT.
Me too.
Yeah. We will come up with things for you. I know what you're doing. How you
I took the hospital. They didn't know what they were going to do a lumbar puncture because he had meningitis. I said, my son does not have meningitis. Only for the man, I just had to do a CT scan. I took the result, put it in ChatGPT. Yeah. He had the sinus, inflammation of the sinus. All I did was nasal steroid spray to stop the headaches.
Hey, you can use it for anything.
Go to Italy last week, and then I just had rash on my lower body down. I'm like, what's this? I was confused. I just took a picture, put it on ChatGPT. I just started giving me different options. And out of the option, I said, you wear a new outfit, blah, blah, blah. I don't remember that part. It came for me from London, and I don't want it. I just wore it that day. And I wore it for 2 days straight because I was traveling. Jesus Christ. So when I tried to wash the pants, by the time I washed it, it died. I came out. The body was reacting to that. My body was reacting to that. Just let's find a way to
engage ChatGPT. No, it's the way
for your career.
If I use it, I'm just asking.
I know. For promotion. Any AI tool, like, okay, like, what's the next level possible for me right now? You know how to apply.
And we're talking about ChatGPT. You are having issues on how to actually prompt. So you need to be able to ask the book I wrote on professional.
You can give you a prompt itself. ChatGPT can give you a prompt.
Yeah.
Everyone passing that.
When I was
a prompt for ChatGPT sometimes. I go to DeepSeek to create the prompts.
Yeah.
Bring it down. Sometimes when my prompts are 2 pages long.
I have a need to benchmark it. I have a book, it tells you what you want to be a professional before you ask that question. And what are the things that to avoid hallucination?
Oh, yeah.
Those things do hallucinate. Yeah.
To round up. The very good to have by email to everyone.
Do we have Elizabeth here? Elizabeth Chandler. Definitely the best here is not here. Then Sherifat Akitola. You're supposed to get the book.
Okay.
You're supposed to get the book. I wanted to be sure because I can see that there was someone who was meant to get the book available. But then that person, the book is available. Please let me put up my QR code so they can scan and see. Please, let me just complete. So I'll continue with it. That whatever we do not sow, we cannot reap. And it's not just about sowing money. Nigeria. What that is? Yeah, it has already been Nigeria already. It has already been Nigeria already. Okay, I have started one. Your papa is doing it. Wait, you mean what you're about is changing the minds of people right now? We're doing it already. Yes. Talking about the game of Miss Mama.
Changing the mind of.
Oh, yes. Oh, okay. So I have a game of money community, and we do one thing different. However, the job, the work is if you teach and you are doing it, you started the process. But we encourage execution, which is why I was saying 5 things you do from here. But those 5 things you do, one of it should involve your mind.
You know the reason why I asked this question, and we have been with you last year, I had about 500, young adult nurses. I'm not a nurse, but I just had this passion, and my passion is to change their mindset, catch them, from young, because the thing at that time was that people were coming to this country, COS, this and this, to work in health and social care setting. So I went there to say, okay, let's give them a new mindset about the system here. You understand? So we did, and I invited her to my connection with my husband, and she came, she spoke to them. Up to now, and all the words, she's not enough, but the information, she came. And that is why I'm asking, because there's community, they're doing another one again in October. In Ibadan. Over 1 24. Okay.
I run a program in Ibadan.
Wow, that's what I want.
On the first Ibadan. I run a program in Ibadan every year. It's called Big Ibadan. All is on this task. What's that? Bible parents take up by hearing, and hearing, and hearing, and hearing. So, exactly. And thank God for technology. We have a community. And for every year after the conference, there's always a WhatsApp community. And from the teaching into the book, it's not everybody that will leave. But those are limits, the limits. Why not? Because it's something out of somebody that doesn't think you. Because a mistake or something has changed their mindset, has helped them. So I was doing a building project on the everything that also everything that we work on in I want to do for you. What I've done for me. You understand? So that's how you make sure that you're helping people, you're transforming lives. Helping people to develop. I don't So when you change the amount of you might not get to enjoy the change, but plans. I'm not trying. And I said, there's a thing you plan to do well. So I did not do that. I think for land. No. I have enough land in Oyo State. And we have serious problems in the social sector in Nigeria. Whoever says that it is the roots of
I went to see last night.
All right, so that we can officially conclude.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so we're going to go into as we wrap up. Things we are going to. I can see we're connected. It's okay. I'm happy. But I don't connect to myself. Let's just do a group picture. Then reaction. We get you have it.
Yes. I will call you on WhatsApp.
Yes.